How you doing, man?
I'm doing good in a neighbor.
Welcome to the Sunday review, sir.
Always, neighbor,
Yeah,
always.
and
But
and, and may I say this to you that I've never bet in my life, and I don't know what took me yesterday. I went betting that that Argentina would have won, but they you won some you won. So I owe you. I do owe you, sir, and I can't promise I'll pay you anytime soon because the pocket not so strong. But in due time.
neighbor, my carrier got HR,
Well, you can ask them to deduct it from my salary incrementally, $50 per month. We'll eventually pay you off, eh? Yeah, yeah. But Harry, Spain are world champions, and by all account, they were the better team today.
By far, neighbor. In fact, it was a one team who came to play.
Yeah.
It went just like how I told you. I said, listen, Spain will actually suffocate that Argentina team, and I think it's beyond suffocation because Argentina got their first shot overall in about the 82nd or 87th minute. So it showed total midfield dominance, Dave. And I tell you, man, it was there. Yeah. Argentina, with all the heart and so on, they didn't have the quality needed to upper Spain.
Yeah, it was a marvelous performance from the Spain team. And to be frank, Harry, I think they are the better team coming out of the World Cup. They are deserving champions.
They are. It's watching it. I looked as well, neighbor. It was a replay of 2010. This is exactly how they actually suffocated teams in 2010 with a star-studded Spain team who didn't score more than 7 goals.
Yes.
But what they did this time was they've set a world record, breaking their very own record now, neighbor, of only conceding one single goal an entire World Cup.
That's fantastic.
Not even the Italians, who are the best defensive tactically, neighbor, couldn't have done it this way.
That's fantastic. I saw crying, Harry. Messi, a great player, some would say the greatest player ever, shedding tears. What should we read from that? And there are some people who are suggesting that he could come back at 43. Do you think so?
No, man. He's hanging up his boots after this World Cup, neighbor. He's not going to push it. Because, I mean, anything can happen as you get older, neighbor. A simple pull muscle or so on, and recovery is not the same. So I expect Messi to hang it up. Probably focus on his stake in the ownership with David Beckham for the Inter Miami team, and just enjoy life thereafter.
So how do you interpret the obvious tears? Is that disappointment?
I think it's more in terms of seeing the curtains coming down, neighbor, right, on his career, beautiful career. I know he wanted to do it again for the nation, and I think part of the tears is to see that he didn't manage to deliver despite an entire nation. Yeah. Those players playing for him.
Yeah. But they were thoroughly outplayed today, though. Why do you think that Argentina performed below par tonight? Is it that they were performing below par, or they came upon just a better team?
Well, Spain, what they needed to do, neighbor. Just like how Spain suffocated a star-studded attacking French team. That is exactly what happened. Once you can't get the ball, you can't hurt him. And after they lose the ball, within the first 3 to 4 seconds, they're at your throat again to get it back and recycle. So Argentina wasn't allowed to play. France actually impart their own game and style on Argentina. And the game was out of their hands. It was only a matter of time before Spain scored. And Spain is one of the most patient team in the world, neighbor, in terms of how they play.
Yeah, fantastic game there today. So the World Cup is over now, Scratchy. I call it scratchy. More than $50 million, Harry, this team will be getting. What they're going to do with all that money?
Remember, that's like a drop in the bucket when you look at what the World Cup means to them. I think the bragging rights means more than the money. In fact, you do get money for each game you play based on the results plus TV rights. So it will be added up a little bit more than that. But I think they being crowned the world champion is more than any money they could actually put. But I know some of that go to the players and more importantly to their product for the youth. You know, their youth program is one of the best in the world, and they will continue to ensure that is well funded.
Well, fantastic. I see we have Ingram and Ingram Accounting with us. You're not leaving, Harry?
I'll be here, neighbor. I'll be here.
Okay, great.
I actually just making my way to Crawford's constituency to see what's happening.
What's happening over?
Well, I hope my front end hold up. That's what I can tell you.
Well, I know that the roads are bad there for true. Hello there, Mr. Ingram. What's happening, man?
Yes, sir, neighbor. I just passed in through. I heard you make a comment. I know you were visit place like best. How was it?
I saw your leader there rocking and dancing too.
I'm almost sure I just said you and the leader was rubbing shoulder to shoulder.
Yes. At some fest, he was at some fest there, dancing away there. Why are they challenging him, Mr. Ingram? Why is the leader being challenged? Or why is there this? Listen to me. Listen to this. Listen to this that they dropped today.
The problem in the PNP, the people do not want.
Okay, it's gonna be loaded. They don't want Marky G. Load up.
They say him to lie and him to beg. I want someone that's loved by everybody and one who has full of decency. Someone to end your plantation activity. They look police, someone's already gone. So they rent their money and say, give us Damian. Damian is the last with the plan.
All right, hold
in
up.
the PNP. The people do not want no Marky G. They say him to lie and him to petty. They want someone that's loved by everybody and one who has some form of decency. Someone to end your plantation activity. They look someone's already gone, so them change their mind and say, give a Damian. Damian is the last with the plan. Forward with Crawford strong. They don't care if they're wrong. He will never lose to election.
Mister, why are they doing Marky G like this? Why is he doing this to the league?
You're laughing and I'm not laughing because politics is politics.
Uh-huh.
But what I want to say, and what is most obvious is that Mark Gold is one of the most professional, honest, and decent politicians ever graced Jamaica's president.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
He's undisputed one of the most good character integrity in politics today. When you look at what does that mean in Jamaica today, and I find it unfortunate,
Yes.
When you look at what does that mean,
You mean hold on? You find it unfortunate that they are going to challenge him? That is that?
No, I don't know about it. I've not seen any challenge in the party today. There is no challenge. The People National Party today is a democratic party. It have persons in it who are very qualified and intelligent, and the party have several offices, and people are free to challenge whenever time. To date, there is no vacancy at this moment. But I understand what is happening. I understand what is happening because
So is labor rights putting out the dub plate?
I am not going there.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that in the party today, they don't take consider presidency, and we have more important things that are derailing the country's progress right
Like
now.
what? Like
and
what?
I find it most unfortunate.
Okay, yes.
Nobody talking about it. We have 15 parliamentarians under investigation for criminal offense, and that is not being spoken about.
No, Mr. Ingram. I expect you to be a little bit more precise. There is no evidence that 15 parliamentarians are under investigation for criminal. No, hold on, man. There is no evidence.
I am relying on the integrity. I am relying on the integrity report. I have looked it up.
The integrity report said criminal. Hold on. It said criminal offense.
Yes, sir. Illicit.
Criminal offense. I'm not so sure about that. I don't think it said.
I'm being muted. I'm being muted.
Look, I don't mute anybody, sir. I think your microphone is automatically muting.
No.
There is a. Let me tell you what happened. There's a.
Hold on.
Hold on, Mr. Ingram. That's not how we do it here. Good evening. You speak and then neighbors speak, or neighbors speak, then you speak. You cannot be speaking at the same time he's speaking, or else I will mute you.
You can do what you want to do. Somebody turn my microphone off.
No. I'm telling you that I turned it off just now because you're speaking while he's speaking, and it's
that's not correct. That's not correct.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Ingram, slow down a second. Don't speak. Neighbor speak, then Mr. Ingram speak. Okay?
Yeah. What I want is some clarity on the preciseness of the word, Mr. Ingram. I want to find out whether or not the Integrity Commission said that they were under investigation for criminal. Because a criminal is a person convicted of a crime. That is what the word means. To be a criminal and to be investigated for a criminal as a criminal means that you have committed a crime. Is that what the Integrity Commission said? Hello?
Go ahead.
My time to speak now?
Yes.
Yes, the Integrity Commission report, which I'm relying on, give a report from April 1, 2018 to March 31st, 2026, and it points to 15 parliamentarians under potential illicit enrichment investigation.
Okay.
That's a criminal
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
Okay.
I did not say they are investigating criminals.
Okay.
I'm saying they are investigating a criminal offense.
Okay. All right. Do you know who they are?
No, sir.
Okay. So it is likely that some of them could be members of the PNP.
I said politicians. You know.
Okay. Well, then that's the point I'm making.
Parliamentarians.
Yes. My understanding is that nine are from the PNP. Nine.
My understanding is parliamentarians in Jamaica are under investigation.
Wouldn't you agree that if nine are from the PNP, that would be very concerning?
If 9 are from the PNP, it will be very concerning.
Yes.
If 9 from the GLP, it will be very concerning. Jamaica need to come to the consciousness. We cannot operate a country where 15 parliamentarians are in the for such offences. It is disgraceful.
Well, I think that the Integrity Commission itself is probably disgraceful by the way it is operating, and I would prefer to
Can you point to us what you would call disgraceful from the Integrity Commission?
Well, I think that the way they have operated in terms of the leaks, the reports that they have not conducted themselves in a manner that earns the respect of Jamaicans. More than half of Jamaica.
Please be more specific, sir.
No, hold on.
Please be more specific.
Yes. No, I'm just telling you the perception, because perception is real. That they are not credible. That nobody's taking them serious. Those are concerns that we have, but I don't know why. I think I want to focus though on the alleged leadership challenge that is brewing in your party, and I would want you to get an understanding from you as to why is the party at this time breaking itself apart.
Neighbor, I'm gonna urge to concentrate on more substantial things that can concern the society of Jamaica. It's important.
All right. Let me ask you a question then. The People's National Party has put out a flyer suggesting that it is the Jamaica Labour Party that signed the toll arrangement. You saw the flyer?
I saw the flyer. I also saw the record.
Uh-huh.
I also saw the information.
Am I correct? Am I correct, Mr. Ingram, that whoever signed the toll arrangement is of no relevance really?
What is important, sir, are the facts.
Yes.
Who would have signed these? Who would have signed these agreements? 1 and 2. The agreements are enforced over a number of years now, 10 years since the JLP is in government. And we need to take note that the toll rate have increased every year since. And
okay, so it is not the signing that increases the toll rate.
No, we are hearing for the first time.
Ingram, 1 second, please. 1 second. Label. Our YouTube is waiting.
YouTube is what?
Waiting.
I'm live.
I don't think so.
Well, yes, I am. I am, and I see a lot of people commenting here. Yes, we're live on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Ingram. Is it the signature of the pen that we are to be discussing, or why was it that we got into this arrangement?
What we need to be concentrating on is the fact that every single year these rates have been increased. And I don't, if I tell you neutral, Jamaica need to understand why this year we are told that the increase this year is as a result of a signature that was done by the PMP. That's what I would love to hear the reason.
Okay, all right. Is it correct to say that the government is increasing the toll?
I'm not even sure, because I'm so careful.
Yes.
So what I want Jamaican people to get are the facts.
No, but let's reason this out. Would it be correct to say, if talking about a contract, would it be correct to say that the government is increasing the toll?
I would before I speak from any vague position, I would say that the government today is fully of faith with what is happening as it relates to the increase. So is government increase gas and bread and patty? And that is why I'm very careful in responding to your questions, because I know what can be implied from these vague questions. No, man, it's not vague. It's not vague. I just want the people listening to us to be fair. I want to be fair to the conversation. When you say government increase toll, is that fair? Is it not the contractual arrangements by the owners and operators of the toll road? The owners and operators of the toll road have certain conditions and contracts in place which they operate by, including the fact that the toll goes up every year. And I'm saying, yes, sir, the toll goes up every year, and I'm hearing this year for the first time that it is a result of the PMP. No, man. While the rate is being okay. Where it is here. Yeah, but I don't want us to do that yet. Let's do step one first, Mr. Ingram. Very important to me. I am saying to you that the toll goes up based on contractual arrangements, binding in the contract by the operators and owners and the investors.
it is contractual that the toll goes up every year. So it's not fair to say the government has increased the toll. So, for example, it would not be correct to say Darrell Vaz increased toll. That's not true. Hello?
I was muted.
No. Yeah.
What I'm prepared to say is that the rates have been increased every single year. Here, Jamaica is told by the minister that the increase here is as a result of the contract signed by the PMP.
No, sir. No, but no.
Hello, neighbor. Hello, neighbor.
What?
Can I say something?
Hold on, info.
Hold on. Let's clear up the point. I'm saying to you that toll rates would have been increased whether Vaz was the minister or Cousins. Isn't that correct? That the toll increase comes about as part of the contractual arrangements binding in the contract. Isn't that the position?
Sir neighbor, what have Jamaicans been told this year as a result of this?
You know, Mr. Ingram, I heard the US senators asking a man who won the 2020 presidential election. And for half an hour they tried to get him to answer who won the 2020 election. No Joe Biden. Why can't you say it, Mr. Ingram, that is not the government that increased the toll?
Why can't you accept that the current minister told the country that the increase was as a result of the PMP contract agreement?
I don't know. The minister said no. That's different. No, we can do that, But I want us to clear this point first for the people of Jamaica. We must stop being hypocritical, Mr. Ingram, and that is this part of what we don't like with the politics. The government no increase no like that about the politics. Did the government increase the toll? Yes.
I'm constantly being muted.
As far as I'm concerned, sir, you are not muted. Just a moderator, let me talk to Mr. Ingram. Is it not?
There's a feedback when you speak from
Mr. Ingram. Oh, Mr. Ingram, you have a device turned on there.
Hello, sir. There's absolutely no problem with the communication, none whatsoever.
Okay.
The only issue is when I'm muted.
Well,
There's no issue whatsoever.
we have feedback though.
Hold on, neighbor. Whenever one speaks, Ingram, would you just stop and listen? Ingram, stop and listen.
I know where you're going, man. I know where you're going.
Harry?
I know where you're going, Harry. That's you.
Hold on, Mr. Ingram. Hold on. The reason why you're having a feedback is because someone is recording.
And Caroline is coming from Ingram's end. Whenever we speak, there's a bounce back off it.
Oh.
We hear it.
I'm sitting here all by myself. Speaking to you guys. I am not a general. I speak facts.
Yes.
Don't go there.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting here all by myself.
Well, okay.
The communication is perfect.
All right.
The last time out here, the same thing happened
More than one persons are hearing it. You cannot deny it. So let's stop. If we say there's something there,
I have nothing to deny. I'm sitting here all by myself. I have nothing to deny.
Oh God.
This is the issue.
Constantly muting me. That's what you're doing.
No, I am the one doing the muting now, Ingram.
Yes, you're
because I'm speaking. This is the problem.
That's what you're doing.
Problem with you. This is the problem with you when you come on this platform, Ingram. You don't run this program.
I have no problem.
You don't run it at all. There are guidelines here, and I'm sick and tired of telling you this.
No problem with you. I have no.
So the issue with it, neighbor, we're getting a feedback when Caroline spoke and Ingram's mic was open. There's a feedback. When you speak, we hear it from Ingram's end. When Ingram mute, it is fine. So nobody's accusing him of anything. We're telling him what is. And if more than one persons are getting that feedback, we have to report what we hear.
Hold on, let's listen a little bit to the PNP. We're coming back to Ingram. Just liven up the program.
What a problem in the PNP. The people do not want no Marky G. They say him too lie and him too petty. They want someone that's loved by everybody and one who has some form of decency. Someone to end all plantation activity. They look police someone's already gone. So them change their mind and say, give us Damian. Damian is the lead with the plan. Forward with Crawford strong.
Boy, I tell you, fascinating days are coming up in the People's National Party. But we have with us Ingram and Ingram here accounting. And we're having a little bit of feedback problem from your end, though, Mr. Ingram. Know yourself, man. Come through. Are you there, sir? Hello, Mr.
No. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, so Mr. Ingram, what I want for the listeners to understand and appreciate is that the government of Jamaica did not increase the toll. Is that correct? Because I've read the contract, and what it says is that the toll authority applies to the minister, and the minister takes it to the cabinet. But it's like when JPS applies for a rate increase to the OUR. It's almost an administrative thing. It's not the government that does the toll increase. It is built into the toll contract. Is that not correct?
Hello, neighbor.
I'm turning on to speak. I'm turning on to speak. Neighbor, thanks for that information. And that's the sole reason why we're asking why it is now important for the minister to tell Jamaica that the increase this year is as a result of the contract signed by the PNP. That was not said in the other years when an increase took place. That's all we're asking.
Okay. Why do you think the PNP?
But before you go on from that, let me answer that. It was reported in the media that the government is increasing the toll. That is why the minister came out and made it clear. So now that is answered, you can answer neighbors' questions now, Ingram, because nobody's trying to trap you. I realize how you're trying to go around questions. Just answer the question straightforward. Nobody's trying to trap you into anything.
Right. Yes. So Mr. Ingram. So the fact of the matter is that the government did not increase the toll. The rate increase is a contractual obligation that the government honors. Correct?
You're saying the rate increase is a contractual arrangement that the government honors.
Yes. In other words, if the government doesn't honor it, the government has to pay.
Can I be told who was the one who told the nation that the government increased the toll? Who said that?
The contract says that when the rate is increased, the government of Jamaica have to publish it in the dailies or put it out on the radio. That's what the contract says. You have to give the public notice. I think it's 7 days notice. They must do it, informing the public that the rate is going up. All in the contract. All right, hold on there for me, Mr. Ingram. Infomedia, you wanted to come in. Come on.
Good evening to fellow neighbor and his listeners and viewers on YouTube and the rest of social media land. I've been here listening to Mr. Ingram, and he's good at dancing. Maybe he's a Mexican, he can dance the salsa. I have 4 questions for Mr. Ingram. 4 simple questions. If Andrew Holness representing Jamaica at the Olympic and they need a vote, and the PNP is representing another entity at the Olympic, not Jamaica, but Andrew Holness is represented by the Olympic, who would you vote for?
I don't understand the question you asked.
Let me say it again to you. If Andrew Holness representing Jamaica at the Olympic, the country Jamaica at the Olympic, and the PNP is an independent body representing another sector at the Olympics, who would you vote for?
It's a rather interesting question you ask, you know. And let me answer it this way. When Messi came here at the National Stadium, I witnessed the Prime Minister cheering for Messi when he scored. I will never forget that. And I did a blog about it. If anytime Jamaica is playing anywhere, I'm going to do it.
Let me ask this now. I have 4 questions for you. How much you love this country, Mr. Ingram?
I love this country 100%. I've never lived anywhere else. I've loved this country 100%. I've never lived anywhere else.
I want to, my third question is, what in the contract that the conversation about the binding 50-year contract that you and Hello Neighbor was just having a conversation about, what in the binding contract this government, what in the binding contract the administration is responsible for?
I have absolutely no issue with any contract. What I have an issue with is hearing that the minister told the nation that the increase that is taking place this year is as a result of the contract signed by the PMP. That's what I have an issue with. What is unusual this year as distinct from the other years? All I'm asking.
My next question to you, is the minister lying?
When he said what?
You just said what the minister said, and so I ask if the minister lying.
All I'm asking is what the significance of saying that the PMP, the result is a result of the PMP. That's all I'm asking.
No,
I'm not accusing him of lying.
Mr. Ingram.
I am not accusing him of lying.
Mr. Ingram, you said the minister said why the toll is raising because of the result of the contract signed by the PNP, and I'm going to ask you again, is the minister lying?
And I'm going to respond to you, sir. I did not go through the contract. I'm simply as a Jamaican, as a concerned Jamaican, why is it important to tell Jamaica that this increase is as a result of the PMP signing of a contract? That's all I'm asking.
Let me ask you this.
If you can help the country, go ahead and help us.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever find yourself that you need to get a checkup every now and then, psychiatric checkup, because I'm just asking, self-introspection?
I don't know where you're going with that, but let me tell you something, sir. At 68, God has been good to me. And I'm still at work, I still operate a business, and I'm good at 68, and I give God thanks every morning for that. And I'm going to encourage people, when you live to a certain age, give God thanks for being where you are at the moment in time. And I will never, ever. Yesterday I went to a funeral. Yesterday I went to a young lady funeral, 37-year-old. Yesterday.
My final
37-year-old, and she's gone.
My final question to you, Mr. Ingram. Are you satisfied in your skin of all of what you just mentioned to Hello Neighbor? Are you satisfied as a man in yourself that you're well within your right mind? You mean Jamaica well? Are you satisfied with that? Or you're arguing the point?
I don't know you, and I find your reasoning a little offensive. But let me show you something. I am satisfied with myself, and my soul is well with God Almighty. I have no concern about anyone else.
I yield, Hello Neighbor.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Harry.
Yes, info. Based on the argument put forward by Ingram, right? He said he wants to know why the minister had to come and say it. Isn't it not the same reason why the People's National Party wants to run with the whole idea, publishing it to say that, oh, this fiscal journey that we're on started by them? What's the relevance of that? It is the same argument. And as such, if it works for one, it must work for the other. Now, the minister took a different stance because here it is in the Observer, and I'll read exactly the first part. It says, it's on Jamaica. Motorists traveling the full length of the Highway 2000 North-South link could soon pay $5,220 for a round trip between Caymanas and Ocho Rios under proposed new toll rates published by the government on Thursday. What does that say to the ordinary Jamaicans? This is indicating to people that is the government raising the toll. Now you have to understand that a minister has all right to come out and state what the facts are and correct it so people do not run with a misconceived notion.
Before I leave, Harry, I'm going to say this bluntly, and I'm going to say it with respect. Based on the reasoning of Mr. Ingram, because I am here listening to Mr. Ingram well over 20 minutes, I feel like if Mr. Ingram has find himself at 89 Old Road, and there's a dead body on the table in that room that they have meeting, Mr. Ingram would have eyed it in the interest of the PNP. You would have eyed that dead body in the interest of the PNP. That's all your reason a short while ago, Mr. Ingram. And I make no apology to that.
Well, go ahead, Harry.
Yes, for the listeners who want to find the article, it's the Observer that was posted on the 16th of July. That way, anybody and everybody can hold me accountable because that is integrity. I can't say the same for
anybody else.
For anybody else, but you can fact check me if you so desire. But that is the idea being put out from one of our main medium of getting information. And as such, there should be no problem coming from anybody, whether you're PJ or indifferent, as to why the minister had to come and state the fact that it is not the current administration that signed the current contract. Nothing is wrong with that, you know. Because if anybody finds that offensive or something wrong with that, then I now have to ask that person, are you holding up the truth? Do you mean well for facts? Because it doesn't say anything else but that. And we're always going to be on the side of the truth and where the facts lies. And what the minister stated are facts. Whether you want to politicize it or not, it is what it is. Accept it and move on.
Yes.
Go ahead, neighbor.
Okay. So, Mr. Ingram.
Yes, neighbor.
Okay, Mr. Ingram. If you and your wife goes to school to pick up a report card for your daughter, and
Can you use another example? Use another example, neighbor.
And you another example. All right. Let's say I go to school. All right. Let's say Harry goes to the prep school his daughter attends to pick up her report. And let's say Harry signed the report. Do you think that that Harry and his partner should be arguing about who signed the report, or should they be discussing the content of the report and the performance of the child?
If there's a question as to who signed the report, then that would have to be verified. If there's a question.
But why would that be important? Why would that be important whether the mother or the father signed it?
No, I'm saying, sir, you present an illustration of whatever coming from, I don't know. But if the issue of who signed the report comes up, then that matter will have to be answered. And the issue of importance of the report is another matter.
Okay.
If there's a concern about who signed the report, that will have to be addressed.
Okay. Would you accept, Mr. Ingram, that
Hello, neighbor. There's an important question I would like to. It's very important. Very, very important. In the geopolitics world, Donald Trump has been seen as a liar based on what he opened his mouth and said all the while. Mr. Ingram, do you believe Donald Trump is a liar?
When you guys ask these loaded questions, I have an issue answering them, because I do not go about referring people to people, find disparate people. When you demonstrate who you are, then I ascribe the appropriate adjective to you. So until I know who you are, I don't go about ascribing things to anybody. I don't do that. When I declare somebody as being who you are, I declare it based on facts. In Jamaica, when I call out any issue, I call it out based on empirical facts.
Very good, neighbor. Leave it on there. Very good.
Okay.
You say you call out any one and neighbor, you call out things and empirical facts. Is it true that the Prime Minister is a thief?
I have never, ever, I hear this rubbish all the while, I have never, ever called the Prime Minister a thief. Never.
So what are you saying to me now? What are you saying to me now, Mr. Ingram? That Mark Golding, Peter Bunting, and the rest of the arm of the People's National Party are lying?
I am not, listen, sir. I'm saying to you, sir, I have never called the Prime Minister of Jamaica and Jones a thief. Never. And I don't, it's not my style, sir. It's not my DNA. I don't go about ascribing adjective to people until you prove yourself. When you prove yourself, then I'm going to point out that to you. Because, hear me, sir, I stand on integrity. My life, sir, my life is lived on integrity. And I challenge anyone to dispute that.
Let me ask you this. You say you stand on integrity. Do you support the Integrity Commission?
100%. It is the only institution today in Jamaica that is demonstrating and practicing some level of intelligence. The Integrity Commission. And I challenge anyone in that platform to tell us where the Integrity Commission is doing something wrong. Tell us where. And this
my final question to you, Mr. Ingram. Mark Golding, in his integrity, in his public declaration that he owns nothing in Jamaica, everything he has in trust fund. You think he's a truthful politician?
I have observed that all the politicians in leadership in Jamaica, their assets and liabilities are all in some entity. I'm seeing where nothing is in their name. None of the politicians in leadership, nothing is in their name. In Jamaica, sir. In Jamaica, sir. In Jamaica. None of the politicians. Hold on. Let me get this clear. No, hold on. Let me get this clear. It's important. None of the politicians in Jamaica today in leadership, their assets are in their personal name. None.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Ingram. This is, and I want to answer me very truthful. There's a lot of rumors and speculation and argument coming from your political party that you support and political platform sometime in Parliament. So the Prime Minister is corrupt. Do you believe that the Prime Minister is corrupt?
When I speak about the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I speak based on the statutory declaration that he declared.
You did not answer my question. You did not answer my question.
I'm answering your question directly, sir. I am answering your question directly. When I speak about the Prime Minister of Jamaica, I speak based on his statutory declaration and the entities in which he's involved in. And the fact that he is a monthly paid person and he's at the maximum level of an income tax threshold at the high level.
Let me ask you this again.
I refer to the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Let me ask you this again. Do you believe in a yes or no answer that the Prime Minister is corrupt?
I am not a puppet, sir. Don't tell me to answer yes or no. I'm not a puppet. I answer the question based on the appropriateness of the question you ask.
You know, hold on, Mr. Ingram. You know, people like you, Mr. Ingram, you lose respect from me and from other young people listening to you. You are one of those citizens of Jamaica who was sitting on your veranda, enjoying the 18 years of the People's National Party, plundering public resources. Crime was at the highest level. Jamaica was the murder capital, and you, Mr. Ingram, sit and did nothing. You watch Jamaica becomes the begging capital of the world. You watch Jamaica become the most corrupted country of the world and you did nothing. And now you have God allow you to live and watch this country has become the darling of the world, and you still would not accept that Jamaica has turned a corner because the People's National Party is not in power. You were comfortable then, sitting on your veranda on a daily basis and watch TVJ News and CVM when mothers and fathers were reeling because the gunmen were rampant in this country. And Mr. Patterson and his allies were robbing the public purse at the ice level, and you did nothing. And you come on this platform as a 60-year-old man and telling me a lot of nonsense and want me to respect you. And then you take that same lying tongue of yours and talking about God. People like you, God is going to make you sit right where you are now. I'm going to come down right where you are now and watch the Prime Minister flourish and this country flourish. You know what is going to take you home? Your lying, conceited behavior for a big man. I'm going to love neighbor.
Well, we should give him a chance to respond.
That I want to tell Jamaica that all my life I worked. I've never been given anything from any politician. I work all my life for my bread. That's when I respond in some rhetoric that I've been uttered just now.
Aha. You have not sat on your veranda and enjoyed anything, eh?
Neighbor, I've worked all my life, neighbor.
Aha.
I've never been given a penny from any politician.
Aha. But why are you so fiercely you're a fierce supporter of the party though Mr. Ingram? And I think a lot of people are concerned. Tell us why. Why are you such a strong supporter of the party?
Yes, I look at Jamaica, sir. I look at Jamaica. And when I look at it happening in Jamaica, and when I look at the blatant act, for example, the NARA bill that was just signed the other day. And when I look at the fact that 70% of $370 million that was spent recently, it came out in the Commission report. 70% of those contracts were not done under any
NARA is your contract already? NARA? No. Hold on, Mr. Ingram. NARA has issued contracts?
No, sir. I'm pointing to you that NARA is now coming without any level of accountability.
Ingram, I'm going to ask you to take back that statement. Ingram, take back that statement because that is a lying statement, and you should withdraw that statement tonight. Or there's no form of accountability. Stop that nonsense and rhetoric, Ingram.
NARA report to one person.
NARA does not report to any one person. Stop this lying thing, Ingram. Whether you want to score political points or not, don't do it on this program tonight. Ingram, let me mute you. I have read the act. I've also had lawyers gone through the act. Don't come up tonight, Ingram, with your lies. I am not going to, neighbor, I'm not going to stay on the program tonight and let Ingram bring down things that have nothing to do into NARA.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Harry. You read the app. Go ahed.
No, I did.
Jamaica.
First of all, what Ingram is trying to do, neighbor, is to say NARA does not have everything goes from parish council level coming up. It does not remove building act. It does not remove everything else in terms of accountability for different ministries. Ingram, stop it tonight, Ingram. Or else I'm going to take you down. I'm not going to allow you to do this tonight.
You can't take me down.
Because everybody has been here. We've put it forward several weeks. We've been on NARA, neighbor.
Yes.
Given it directly from what it was as a bill, then it became an act, and we've gone through it. Senators have spoken on it. Their recordings, right? And no PMP center could have gone against what was said because it is evident. It's almost like Ingram and the PMP want to come up and say, "Oh, NARA supersedes everything, and it is unlawful." Right? It is not that, and it doesn't answer to any one person. It also answers to Parliament for anybody who wants to look at it. Also, the Auditor General can go through it. And an independent auditor just the same, right? Done by the Permanent Secretary. Ingram, stop this foolishness. Stop it tonight.
Yeah, well,
Tell the platform.
well, we're gonna have to move on though.
No, hold on.
We're gonna have to move on.
I would ask the gentleman to tell the nation who the CEO report to.
Let me clarify that for you. Because I'm not somebody who jumps around questions. Mute and let me answer you. The Prime Minister cannot take any stance because I know exactly this is where you're going with it. The Prime Minister cannot make any decision without being advised fully, which is where the technocrats come into play. There are several, I don't remember the exact word that they call it, neighbor, but I'm going to say different levels or tranches that it has to go through. One, it has to be reported as to why a project was not approved. Investigation is done, advisors look at it, then they make a recommendation to that ministry or entity that did not have it approved. If they do put the recommendation, they have a set time. I believe it is up to 90 days to go through it, put in the recommendation, act on it. If that then fails, they go through another level. And even before it reaches to the Prime Minister to make a decision, the advisor will then go through it once more. So let's not come with this. You guys want to paint the narrative as if this is absolute power for Prime Minister. Ingram, stop it, man. Out of respect, stop it.
Tell the nation who's the final say on Nara. Tell the nation.
Were you listening? Were you listening,
Yes.
Ingram?
Tell the nation who's the final authority on Nara.
Ingram,
Jamaica.
Ingram, I just laid it out fully for you. Unless you are stupid.
Who is it?
Unless you are intellectually challenged, Ingram.
Who is it?
You are.
Tell Jamaica who is it?
I literally just laid it out to you. Full on.
Lay it out again for the listeners. Harry, go again.
Because I'm getting a little bit passionate tonight.
Well,
because I am sick and tired.
It's a Sunday.
Of people like Ingram.
Uh-huh.
Come on. I want to mislead Jamaicans for something that means them well. The info said it best. Ingram's, when I want to sit on in veranda or in back porch or wherever, he was also a big man who placed the PMP for 18 and a half years to ruin Jamaica. Ingram, you have no say here tonight. You cannot speak on anything. You defend a man who has no integrity, who ran with things for political gains, right? A man who benefited from the coffers of Jamaicans, 44,000 businesses when people unalive themselves. Ingram, listen to me tonight, Ingram. Go find yourself off of the program. Please. Please.
That's your objective.
Well,
That's the sole objective. But tell Jamaica who's the final authority on Nara.
Mr. Harry, please, can you just answer that question again for the listeners? Final authority on NAR. How is it structured? Yeah.
There is a CEO there for NARA, right? And he will actually go ahead after everything is passed through, right, to the necessary channels at a faster rate to reduce that bureaucracy that has stifled Jamaica for quite a long time.
Uh-huh.
Both governments of the past, both PNP and Jamaica Labour Party, because we couldn't even spend our capital expenditure for decades, right? So it is not. I don't want Ingram to come and label it with a question as if it is one man who called the shots. It's not one man who calls the shots. And that is what gets me upset tonight. Because Ingram knows the truth, neighbor. He knows.
The truth is, the CEO report to the Prime Minister. Am I correct?
And there are channels and different areas for integrity.
Am I correct?
NARA itself is also reported to Parliament.
Okay.
Why you don't speak on that?
1 second, please. 1 second. I don't think this conversation is headed anywhere good. And Mr. Ingram, I don't want to be disrespectful and throw you out of the box, but I'm going to tell you that this conversation cannot continue. So when you get it together, we can continue.
All right. All right. Where do we go from here then? Where do we go from here? We're gonna moderator. This is a Sunday review, you know. We haven't started reviewing anything yet.
Good evening, neighbor.
Before Mr. Ingram goes, let's hear from Protected.
Neighbor, good evening.
Uh-huh.
if I may, because I'm there listening, and you see, thank you very much, Harry. Good evening, everybody. Those who are listening, home and abroad, and good evening, panel. You see, I really don't have the time, but you see, people. Good evening, Mr. Ingram. This is the situation that we will always have when you set out to have a meaningful conversation with people so that they can understand the issues in the country and how we can navigate them and how we can get some things done in the country. Harry, now you understand my passion, especially when I'm dealing with PMP. Now, I don't hear in the middle of my head, but Mr. Ingram make me peel out about 1 million strand just a while ago. No. If the problem that the PMP is trying to create, again, they're trying to manufacture some issues here. Why did I elect Andrew Holness as my Prime Minister? To give the final say to anything as it relates to decision in the country. So what if the CEO answer to the Prime Minister? The ministers answer to the Prime Minister. The permanent secretaries answer to the Prime Minister. So what the hell is wrong? If the CEO will answer to the Prime Minister. And this is what the PMP do, and they do it skillfully. They try to create problems where there are none. No problem, not there. The Prime Minister is primus inter, whatever this name, prime among his peers. And that's why we put him there, to make the final decision on anything, to make the tough decision, the hard decisions. So hold on. Who was Mark Golding reporting to when he was robbing us? 44,000 businesses and 200,000 workers put out of work. Who was he reporting to? Who was Omar reporting to? So much so that the private sector organization of Jamaica in 2012 right to Porsche and tell Porsche say them are going to lock down the business them and left Jamaica if Omar become the finance minister again. Who?
The lady said the Albert are going anywhere, The lady said the Albert.
No, you're not going to go try shut it down now because
I thought you were taking it somewhere.
Mr. Ingram, don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. Don't do that.
The lady said the government going anywhere.
You cannot tell me what to say when Mr. Ingram shut your mouth.
Let's demonstrate some principles.
Truth, neighbor.
The lady said.
All right. Hold on. This is
Neighbor.
Yeah.
So we need to understand, neighbor, and you need to decide. Neighbor, make platforms like mine and others do this. We have academic conversation over here. Harry has things to share with the people of Jamaica. When scratch comes scratch, you have to talk to the people of Jamaica. When you come with your note, you talk to the people of Jamaica. You cannot do this.
The CEO
has no friend. Truth has no friend. So if Mr. Ingram is your friend, neighbor, then the truth will not abide here, and the people who listens here.
No, Mr. Ingram is not my friend. I
well, you need to decide.
No, I'm not. Hold on, I'm not. Mr. Ingram is not my friend.
Let me tell you something. They want us to believe, and they can't make me believe. They want the people of Jamaica to believe that something is wrong with the Prime Minister who is already the head of the country. So obviously, one private individual who is a CEO must make decision on behalf of the country, and the head of the government must have nothing to say about it. That's what the PMP want us to do, and we need to see beneath what they are doing. We need to start reading the messages that are unsaid so that we can report to the people and let them understand of them so that they can see what these people are doing. What is wrong if the Prime Minister is the last person who have a say? What is wrong if the Prime Minister will override everybody else and make a decision? What is wrong with that? Is the Prime Minister, and we put him there to make the decision. So far, he has been making the tough and the right decisions on my behalf, and I am proud of him, and I feel good, and there is prosperity in the country. Mr. Ingram, you better drink that, belch on it, and do anything else you want to on it. I don't write this up. I'm busy.
All right. Okay. All right. The people that listen to the Right Now Neighbor. So why is he on the show for? Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can producer. Maybe we should open the lines a bit. Let's see who is up there. I see some people wanting to come up. Let them come up. Let them come up. Let's see if we can do the review later on. Hello, Kimmy. Hi. Hello. Hello.
Hey, neighbor.
Good evening to you, sir. Hi.
Yeah, man. Pleasant good evening to you and Caroline.
Yes.
And the rest of people. Yeah, man, neighbor. I just want to put my little 2 cents. Because listen, you're somebody that I have the utmost respect for. You understand?
Well, thank you.
And I respect you. I respect you. Not because the ladies might say you're a handsome man, but because you speak the truth. Yeah,
Well,
man,
is that so?
Yes, man.
Oh.
And I tell you, neighbor,
Uh-huh.
I love someone that their word is their bond.
Uh-huh.
And I was listening to you the other day, neighbor. And when you made that statement, it was profound. And trust me.
What statement?
When you said, listen, when you said to others, listen, you mustn't. A lot of people take up these PMP people in their box. We must be careful of how we even correspond or even have dialogue with them. And I heard you say it, neighbor, and listen, I want your word to be a bond. You see that man there where you just had on your program? Them have a saying, I don't know if you ever hear.
No, but I don't control guests here doing this.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't produce. I talk to who comes up. Like just as how I didn't add you, I'm not responsible for that. And let me clear that up because I hear it being discussed. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Them have a little saying with a little man named Bingy, and them say, hell with my guy. I try to fathom that, man. I try to understand him. Me try my best as a young person to understand where that man come from. And trust me, neighbor, me just can't get nothing out of this man. None of that.
I don't think that he's batting for his party, sir.
No, he's not only batting for his party. The man does hate the Prime Minister. Hate him down, and I can't understand why these men does hate the Prime Minister. Why?
Uh-huh.
It's disgusting, neighbor, and when I listen to them, may I tell you the truth, man. It hurts, and they want to put Jamaica in a bad light, neighbor. And that is what hurtful the most, They want to make Jamaica seems like there's no progress. It's like we're going downhill, and Jamaica is one of the worst places for people to come and do business. I hate it, and a full time them man I need to find some go. Neighbor, I understand it's your platform and I respect you, but listening to them for them knowledge, I wonder if them brain cell, if it ever short span or a short circuit or something. But anyway, neighbor, just big up yourself, big up Caroline, and I love you guys.
All right, Kingo. Big up yourself too.
Yeah, man, big up my neighbor.
Hi, Kimmy. Hi, your time.
Neighbor.
Hi.
Why Ingram just migraine that I try to get rid of. Ingram is in his 60s, and I just want to hear Ingram buy one car because of the Jamaica Labour Party and the good work.
No, but I don't think so. No, I don't think so at all. Huh? Ingram has.
Mr. Neighbor.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Neighbor, we have got our way. Ingram said because of the thing Ingram said that we have to work with, don't it? Yes.
Oh.
Things of time out. No. Let me ask you, I want to ask Ingram a question because I remember asking him the said question, what has the Jamaica Labour Party or what has Andrew done for the country? And he opened up his big mouth and say,
What?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He said nothing isn't happening. So if nothing is not happening, how comes him buy one car? How comes him I get to travel all of a sudden? Right? How comes him not against the man that he used to talk about, the man who run the great US of A? All of the things that is very distasteful. They are big man in very distasteful. I'm gonna know what kind of accountant him be. Because I would never go to him to account my business because he has no integrity. They're using this word integrity like, y'all know what integrity is? Make it make sense, Ingram. You're a big grown ass man. You're supposed to be educating me. Tell me when you, Ingram, could have walked up and down in your country safe and sound. You're big, you are an adult, you know better. Don't make we young people sit down and listen to Mr. Neighbor while learn to do something and you come and you can't give us no clear insight as to what is happening in the country. You know nothing for a big man. You are a big man. You don't know who pick me. Yeah, PJ used to march at graduation. Remember good? So why is it that you're going to sit here, sir, and come and tell us that nothing I want for the country, this, that, that? You're always upon the Jamaica Labour Party platform and speak your lies and your propaganda, making a mockery of your big self. Learn something when you come to persons with educate, learn. Come over here, come learn something. Come over the rest of the Labour Right platform, come learn something. Come learn about the history of Jamaica because at this point, England, you're upset, not just Harry, but me too. Because when you go touch and talk about one person wants to be a dictator, if the Prime Minister wanted to be a dictator to us, he could have been done that. PJ wanted to dictate it to us what to do. Remember good? I don't understand these big people in the PNP, Mr. Neighbor. You asked him one question, why is there a fight in the PNP, and he could not answer the question. I tell you, sir.
But hold on. Do you listen to Mr. Ingram's program?
Mr. Neighbor, so I have a son, right? And my son is going to do about 7 CXCs next year.
Congratulations.
I have to prepare my mind. Yeah, right? I have to prepare my mind for all of that. I can't make Ingram program take on my brain cells, Mr. Neighbor. That's not cute. I don't need my brain cells for my son to help him. Further in because I wouldn't want my son to be 70 and uneducated like England.
Oh, no, he's not uneducated, ma'am. Mr. Ingram is an accountant.
He's an educated done.
Oh.
Mr. Neighbor, you have I tell you all the time, you have educated dons, and England is one of them.
I see.
The PNP who run up and down to this country, Mr. Neighbor, and talk about nothing now one. They are the one benefiting more. They are the one that are on the PATH program more. They are the one that is getting the free house more. They are the one that is getting their house them like fixed for free. PNP grab onto more the freeness than the Jamaica Labour Party members them, and it's just the truth. England good at their partner for the benefits them too.
Can I add something, please? Let me add something. Ingram is not a chartered accountant. Let me make that clear. You hear me tell you? Ingram is just doing work and he gets a chartered
No, but that's not fair, you know, Sabi. That's not fair.
It's not fair. I'm a chartered accountant, neighbor. I know what I'm talking
no,
about.
man, he has an accounting company. That's,
yes, he does.
No. Hold on. You may not agree with. Hold on, no, sir. Hold on, sir. Let's be fair. No, let's be fair. Mr. Dominant one. You may not agree with Mr. Ingram's politics, but don't be personal.
It's not the politics I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth.
Mr. Ingram has an accounting company.
Yes, what I'm saying to you. You see, if you are not a chartered accountant, you cannot sign off on any document. Let me make that clear. Somebody sign it.
What does it hold on? But what does it matter whether he's an accountant or not? What we are discussing are the substance of his arguments.
What I'm saying, that man is a fraud when it comes.
No. But I don't like that, sir. I don't like that. The fact is that you are getting personal about Mr. Ingram's, and I don't want. I wouldn't want Mr. Ingram.
Mr. Neighbor, what Ingram does in his personal life, I don't care.
Thank you.
Mr. Ingram could have been a pastor today and a serial analyzing person tomorrow. Me not care. Whatever he's doing in his personal life, that's him. But when you're gonna come on the media, you're gonna open TikTok universe, and you're gonna say nothing is not happening in the country when we have so much persons in the diaspora packing up them things and coming and so much persons in the diaspora open up business in Jamaica, and you're going to open your 70-year-old mouth and say nothing going to Jamaica. That's where I have a problem.
Well,
your personal life, what you do with your personal life,
correct.
Has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that is I think that is appropriate that we do not attack Mr. Ingram's life and what he does. And that is of no moment, really.
I want you to tell the people how we used to live back then, Mr. Neighbor. Tell us the difference that you're seeing now. Tell us why we're still under one JPS contract that if we house burn down, we have to pay for rewire the house because that's the contract the PNP signed. Tell us contracts them that were signed before the Jamaica Labour Party came into power. Now we have to try to fix them. And that me comfortable. Me not comfortable whether in my mansions and cars. I'm comfortable about what is happening in the country. The youth of the country, Mr. Neighbor. We have with children, them are grow up and want them for have a better Jamaica. And underneath Nara, that is exactly what is going to happen. When you open your mouth and you tear down Nara, you're tearing down the country. So him could have been a chartered accountant or a non-chartered accountant. Kimmy not here. Kimmy want to know, say, him come and say, people, the government say you can go sign up for your roof program on this website. Come tell me that. Come and tell us that. But don't attack the Prime Minister of the country every single day, pretending as if PJ did thing. Mr. Neighbor was still underneath.
Would you believe me? And I know Mr. Ingram is listening. I have never once listened to Ingram's program. Never once.
Yeah, Mr. Neighbor, I don't have the time for foolishness.
So I don't know. So why do the people listen? If why do they listen?
No, you could ask why. There's a program on here, Mr. Neighbor, by this guy named The Baller.
Uh-huh.
I saw that he put up a picture of Desmond McKenzie when Desmond McKenzie was pepper sprayed. And they were laughing and they were saying, yes.
You know, someone, beg your pardon, yes, coming. You know, somebody sent me a screen recording of a live. And the person said on the live that they were playing the Labour Party meeting and there were 36 people. 36. They were playing the things that concern the party and there were only 36. And the minute Bangarang broke out on the program, it went up to 140. 90 people wanted to hear the Kaskas and the Bangarang. And you know, let me tell you this. I tell my team all the time that I could do that too, you know. I could do that too. And the point I am making to you is that a lot of these people who are talking, they love listening to Ingram. They go on platform and they take him on and they get into all of that. But then they complain about him. If you don't like somebody or you don't like their doctrine or what they're saying, don't listen to them. If I don't like your restaurant, I don't go there and eat. That's it. Right?
That's it.
And the party bloggers. That's what I heard. I could play it here, but I won't play it. That there were 36 people listening to the party's message. The party's message only attracted 36 people. But the minute the Kaskas start, 140 people, 90 people joined. Right? So guess what do the people want to hear? What do they want to hear?
What did they hear out of it though, Mr. Neighbor?
Uh-huh.
Did they hear that over the past 10 years, $64 billion has given for beautification, yet still we don't see no work I do? Did they hear that part in the Truth Matters when we were talking? Did they hear that Desmond McKenzie said he has done numerous of time has approached the MPs and councillors in Westmoreland to get help for the people, but the backlash of not getting the help. Did they hear those parts? Ingram, when you come talk about them things there. Talk, why is it that the councillors and caretakers and the PNP is having a standoff?
Yes, ma'am. I never have never, and this is no disrespect to my brother, have never once listened to one of Mr. Ingram's program. I don't know Mr. Ingram's views. I don't know Mr. Ingram politics. I have never listened to Mr. Ingram. Never. So all of you who are saying, oh, this seems, you listen. Why you listen? You listen. And that is why you are, I mean, if you don't listen, it can affect you. So just recognize. And I want to repeat that I have the tape here where the people said only 36 people were interested in the party's message. Only 36. But as soon as they start this, as soon as the program descended into cuss and name calling and all that bangarang, the live full of people. So guess what? What we want? Cas or we want substance? Well, let's get back to the substance of the program here. And I bet you say we lose some of our listeners that we have here. I bet you say of the 341 that we have here, some of them are going to go, and they're going to go where the fun is in and the entertainment. They don't want education. and anyway, it is what it is. Good evening to you, sir.
Evening. How you doing?
Yes, sir. What you into? You into entertainment? Hold on there. You into entertainment? Listen to hold on. Let me drop a piece of dope on you on the Sunday evening. Let me drop a piece of dope on you on the Sunday evening. Hold on. I have a recording here. Let me drop something for you here this Sunday evening, coming out of the People's National Party. By the way, Spain won today, sir. What an amazing! Is the Prime Minister is in Miami? I think the Prime Minister was at the match today. Over there in Miami. Hell is going to pop out now the PNP. So listen to this.
Oh, what a problem in the PNP. The people don't want no Marky G. They say him too lie and him too petty. They want someone that's loved by everybody and want some form of decency. Someone to end all plantation activity. They look police was already gone, so them change their mind and say, give us Damian. Damian is the land with the plan. Forward with Crawford strong. They don't care if they're wrong. He never lose to election.
Well, that's a goal in lose to election. What a bam bam. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Damian came out and said he never said anything that he had any intention to run against Marky G.
Listen to me, sir. In politics, you can say what you want. The fact of the matter is...
That's what he said. That's what he said.
No, he never said that. He said that he had...
Yes,
it is within his right as a member of the party to challenge. He said that.
No, he said Tina should retract them statement.
Nationwide should retract?
Yeah, because he never came out and said anything like that.
Well, Nationwide never said him said.
Because his next year is going to be the meeting, so he never give no indication that he's going to do something like that.
I tell you, they could say what they want, sir. I know that people in the party have said that the challenge is on. In the party, sir.
Yes. But he came out and said nothing.
He can say what he wants. There are people in the party actively discussing this.
Who want him to run? But he said that.
And Mr. Crawford has made no bones about the fact that he wants to become Prime Minister. How is he going to become Prime Minister without becoming leader of the PNP? He's going to join the NDM.
Pablo and Golden step down.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, sir.
He's in his 60s and so. Maybe next time he plan not to run. Maybe.
I see. Well, my information is that there are active talks in the party, and there are certain moves that are being made in the parties. There's no question about that, sir.
Yeah, good day, Mr. Neighbor. How are you doing?
Good day to you.
Yeah, you know, while listening up here, while listening in the comments when I hear Ingram speaking, you know, the troubling part about it was that Ingram was so more upset that he came out and told the Jamaica people that the PNP is responsible for the price hike, the hiking of the increase of the toll, more than why was the increase of the toll. You understand me? That's why he was so much adamant in the whole situation and say that why he come out now. All of a sudden, if we want to tell Jamaica people, because again, we would have still asked if the country is running so good. Because I know them, you know, they would come out and say if the country run so good, why every minute it will go up, they were quick to blame Andrew. But because he came out and said that, listen, it's the PNP deal from 2001. And it's so ironic that it is the same deal has been passing around in 2000, right? From in the 90s, where it was the same situation that they used to took away a lot of these persons' houses, where they allowed them to sign a deal. So this was basically their idea in the 90s, to take away all those people's property, to make the person them sign a deal, and they would have paid the interest and the amount on the property due to the currency of what? To the currency. So if a case where I go, imagine this, if I go and take out a house from NHT and I'm paying, and they say that I have to pay 50% of my pay, right? Now, if it's a case, because remember, you know, this is tied to my salary, which the toll is tied to
The US dollar.
The US dollar, yes. The toll is tied to the US dollar. Now, if I go and take out a house and the payback is tied to my salary, that means if I'm making 50,000 and I'm paying 25%, if next year I'm going to find a job and I make 100,000, I am start paying 50,000. And if the next 10 years down the line, I am making $500,000 a month, I'm going to pay 250. But the one thing of that contract doesn't change is the length of the contract. I have to stand by that 30 years, 50 years contract.
But you know what I would want my listeners to walk away from, because sir, this toll rate is going to be a 9-day wonder. Whether we want to accept it or not, we're going to have to hook up the toll and pay it. That's going to be that. What I want my listeners to understand, sir, is that the signature is not the real argument. The issue is not who signed the agreement. The issue is why Jamaica found itself in a position where such an agreement became acceptable in the first place. The real issue about this toll is that Jamaica was not in a position to negotiate a better deal. It was not. And that's the truth. The truth is that
Neighbor, I beg to differ, and I can tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. In Portmore, there was a meeting over by Art Academy, and what's his name? Pickersgill asked somebody if it's his time of the month. People were against it. Jamaica never stood for it. People of Portmore never stood for something like that.
When I say that, when I'm not talking about the people of Jamaica, sir, because here is where democracy includes citizens. An active citizenry elects governments to represent them. And when the government fails to do that representation, they must be held accountable. The PNP was never held accountable, sir. They won 4 elections straight. Okay? The real issue, sir, is that when we were debating with these multilaterals, with these private sector companies, we were not strong. Jamaica needed the money, it needed the investment, it needed the infrastructure, and we could not do it ourselves. So we were vulnerable.
Yes,
and they took advantage of our vulnerability. So the question is, why Were we vulnerable? Who led us to be vulnerable?
Yeah.
How did we manage our fear to the point where you could come into our house and take it over? Because you know, in your own life, you know, sir, you that can reach you, you know. You can so mismanage your life that you lose your house, you know, and your car, and even your children.
My neighbor,
Uh-huh.
can I say something, though?
You can.
If you look at the exchange rate, it's not just the exchange rate is a factor in raising the rate. But if you look at the exchange rate, it has remained very stable for the past couple of years right now. So I don't think it's just the exchange rate. There are other factors that contribute to the contract that they signed. Yeah, it's a contract that they signed that they should they can go in and review the rates.
My brother, the debate is not about a signature. It is about preserving national sovereignty. You could not go to America or Dubai or Singapore with this contract, then tear it up and dash in your face. You couldn't do it. We had to accept it because we were not sovereign. You are sovereign when you are economically viable. Fact of the matter is that Jamaica, if it would be compared to a company, was bankrupt. And when you are bankrupt and you need a bailout, you don't have much choice. Mark Carney said you're on the menu. And when you're on the menu, sir, the man who is at the table, he sees you as disposable. You take or you leave it. I mean, we had Gigi on this program last night talking to us about him as an employee of the company building the road. How disappointed he was that Jamaica could have signed something like this. Did you know that the road from Old Harbour through Sandy Bay can't fix to the standard of the toll road? Did you know, sir, that the best the government can do with that road is patch it out? And for more than 30 years, that's what they have been doing, patching it.
Yeah, and there's not supposed to be.
And when I want to go to Mandeville, you know, sir, when I want to go to Mandeville, I have to drive through Sandy Bay. And when I drive through Sandy Bay, sir, it is very disappointing, you know. It is extreme. The Sandy Bay road is very bad. But my only other choice is to go on the toll road. The alternate is alternate or alternative. I don't even remember which one of those to use here. Right? In the contract, the government cannot bring Sandy Bay Road up to the same standard of the toll road. And our government signed that, sir. Not even the rail service in Jamaica can be developed to a particular level, you know, sir. Why? Why did we get to that point? And the reason we got to that point, sir, was that we mismanaged our country. We mismanaged the economy and we led the country to a point where it had very little options. And here is why it is important to understand that. Because Hurricane Melissa devastated the country in October last year. And the government of Jamaica was able to secure more than $6 billion United States dollars. Why? Why was it able to do that? To build back Jamaica. You know why, sir? Because the government was able to bring the country's debt down to under 70%. I think it was at about 60%. That's independence, sir. That's sovereignty. That gives you bargaining power. That gives you clout. It gives you chat. When you're broke and you have no money and you're bankrupt, you don't have no chat. When you go to the bank to borrow money and the bank says sign that, you're so glad to sign it that you don't even read the fine prints. Fine prints don't matter to you because all you want is to be bailed out. And that is the real story here. And that is what we need to prevent from happening ever again in Jamaica that we burden successive generations with contracts because of the mismanagement of governments in the past. We must stop. We must debate that, sir. That is what we need to talk about.
But can I say something else?
Yes.
If it's a case, and if you're really looking into it, if Donald Trump say he want to do something regarding China or Spain or whatever, or start something, and the US dollar get out of hand, and say by next year the US dollar is 190 or 200 based off America's situation, because you can't predict what Donald Trump is doing. It is the same effect that will be taken next year. We have to pay that same amount due to what the currency is. So no matter what the situation is, we have to stand with the currency change, but the length of contract cannot change.
Yes, sir. And you know, here is the smartness of the PNP, and I believe that they have probably caught the government in the trap, because you see, when you debate who signed this, the government that is in office will not be able to absolve itself from responsibility. It is the government, and you notice how they coin it. The government increased the toll. Government not increased no toll, sir. The toll was increased from the contract signed, from the contract right. The toll rate was fixed. That people need to understand. The toll that you are now paying don't have nothing to do with the US dollar, really. It is part of what was written. In other words, someone was smart enough to understand movements in dollars. I promised that I would talk to my listeners about the oil hedge and the bauxite levy. When your economy is not strong, you make a lot of mistakes, There's a lot of things you do that you would not do now. The wholest government, no, I don't think would sign such a contract. It has options. It has options. You know what Dr. Phillips said, sir, when he went to the IMF to get the standby agreement for Jamaica? He said he wished on no other finance minister. In other words, the IMF was basically telling Jamaica what to do, how to do it, when to do it. It's like a man catch you on the corner and tell you, take off your pants. And you can't take it, and you can't tell him no. Yes? It's like hold on and take away type of thing. And when a finance minister says that he feels humiliated by a multilateral, that a sovereign country had to be basically begging the multilateral to come and help Jamaica after 65 years of independence. Well, at the time we were not 65. That is a disgrace. That is a lack of sound financial management of our affairs. Okay? And that is why we are told today. We are told, right? And it is a re-enslavement of our people. This toll arrangement. And the more I read it, the more I realize that the government sell us out. Anyway, who next? Reggae Vibes? Hello? 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. If you have not subscribed to the Politics Jamaica YouTube channel, please do that. Politics Jamaica on YouTube, that's where we are. Politics Matters. Politics Matter JA. Politics Matter JA. Thank you so much for the correction. Politics Matter JA on YouTube. We'll appreciate a subscribe from you before you leave today. Michael Lane. Good night. Good night, sir. Hello? Michael? No. All right. Muslim, you have anything else to add?
Well, not really, no, because again, you see, these PMP, they have a tendency to always to be a hypocrite, and then I would allow you to always, welcome Ingram, because it allow person to understand how hypocrite one can be when it's strictly, party, those stick with the party mindset. You understand? So he him now go understand. He don't want to say the burden of Jamaica was placed by that contract or the stipulation in the contract, but him willing to place the burden to say that he was wrong for him to come out and tell Jamaica people say a PNP signed the contract, or why you want to tell the Alpha Sud say a PNP. You understand me? That was his focus. So if them not gonna change, they will never change. They will find a way to blame Jamaica Labour Party because they're gonna tell us say the economic is going so good. And I always tell them, Mr. Neighbor, show me a time in Jamaica where the economic was blooming, but yes, still, and Michael Andrew Holness, we have a lot of what you call those things, a handicap situation, because we went through Melissa, we went through burial, but yes, still, we still have an economy that we can look at that is blooming, regardless of the situation. Show me a time in Jamaica where you have an economy blooming despite these obstacles.
Yeah, Muslim. The Prime Minister, a couple of weeks ago, spoke of Jamaica becoming Dubai or Singapore. And I got excited when I heard that, because when you reach my age, Muslim, you start to think about your legacy. You don't you start think about the grave, and that you're not going to be here for much longer. And I said to myself, boy, in my life as a boy growing up, I never saw much hope for Jamaica. I never saw much hope. And here is it now that a Prime Minister comes talking about we can be like Singapore and Dubai. Now, Singapore is a country that I have studied quite a bit and looked at their process of development. And I can tell you that it is one of the most admired countries in the world. Its GDP per capita is higher than that of the United States. And when you look at where Singapore is coming from, a little country the size of St. James, got independence in 1965. Investments are flowing in there like nothing before. How did they do it? And I'd like you to understand that Singapore did it because they were focused. They were focused on the development of Singapore. There were opposition in Singapore, and I will admit that there was some suppression of opposition voices and unions. But I must tell you the truth, Muslim, I have to reconsider whether Jamaica will ever, under our political realities and culture, will ever reach to a Singapore, because we are tribalists, sir. We are tribalists, right? And more than 2,000 years ago, Plato warned that when the tribe supersedes the nation is going to fail. You can't put your tribe before the country. You have to put the country before the tribe. And the politics of Jamaica, Scratchy talks about it all the time, is very unique. The PNP right now, no mind if Jamaica mash up. They wouldn't mind if New Kingston catch a fire and the dollar reached to 1,000 to 1 and the toll went up to $5,000, because guess what? It gives them a chance to get into power. And with that mindset, sir, no nation can build. You can't have your wife in your house, sir, and your wife are going in that direction and you are going in that direction. You're not going to build no family, sir. You have to come together. And if we are going to reach development status, there are some things that we have to come together on. We can't be so divided, man. PNP across labor right against PNP. That can't work, We have to understand that here is the vision for Jamaica. And irrespective of who is leading Jamaica, you may diverge on the direction, but you mustn't diverge on that we need to get there. Right? We are tribalists, and our tribalism runs too deep for development to occur. Because what has happened to Jamaica since independence? We take 2 steps forward and 2 steps backward. 2 steps forward, 2 steps backward. Right now, we are taking 2 steps forward. And you know why the passion is boiling over on programs like these? You know why people have to be coming out? It is because we're tired. We're tired, so we take 2 steps forward and 2 steps backward. And there is a lot of people in Jamaica that feels that we must continue on this path if we are ever going to break the cycle of despair on our land. Finally, we have gotten a handle on the crime. Finally, our economy start moving again. Finally, we are seeing progress. And as the Prime Minister said, in one of the one of his posts, that there are some people in Jamaica that don't want no progress up. There are some people in Jamaica, they don't want the country to progress because if the country fails, here is the Prime Minister. Listen to him. If the country succeeds, some people's political career will die.
That there are a set of Jamaicans who don't want to see speed. They believe that if it didn't take long, it wasn't well done. And we need to change that culture. But there are also a set of Jamaicans who don't want to see NARA succeed. It's not in their political interest for NARA to succeed, and we must call them out. They hide under all kinds of names, claim to be parts of civil society when they're not. They are political activists, and we must call them by the name. And I stand here frankly and say that. But it's clear to me that there are a set of Jamaicans who don't want to see speed. They believe that if it didn't take long, it wasn't well done.
You hear that, sir? You never see a set of Barbadians or Trinidadians. There are a set of Jamaicans that don't want to see it happen. Imagine that. There is a set of Jamaicans, not Americans, not Canadians, not Argentinians. There are Jamaicans that don't want to see progress. They don't want it, sir. Why? Because progress is not going to help their politics. For them, politics is the government must fail. They must fail so that we can come in. No, that makes sense. You're gonna rule over the ashes. So when you come in, you prefer to come into a failed country. How you raise it back up? You know, see the perpetual nonsense, man. You know, see this nonsense, huh?
But you see the problem when you mentioned the Singapore. I knew this from day one that Jamaica will never, with the mindset that we have now, will never reach the Singapore.
It's a hard thing to say, you know, sir, but it is the truth.
Yeah, because if you look at a person go and look at the research and the dark truth about Singapore upcoming, one of the first things before Singapore did anything, the first thing that they did was to increase their politician, all the members
salary
to number 3rd.
Yeah.
Before them raise teacher, before them raise citizens, the first thing, because they said that we're going to do this, so they do have the mindset.
No corruption. No corruption, sir. Well paid.
The first time we hear politicians increase, we vote them out.
That is it, sir. That is it. That is it. And this is the type of discussion I want us to have. This is the type of reasoning, sir, that we need to have. And quite frankly, I have been disappointed that
they can't go handle it. Sorry, they can't go handle it. And then one of the next things.
What do you mean they can't handle it? They must handle it.
But remember that person was actually going to prison just for littering. If you litter, you go to prison. That was one of the regulations that they made. That's why I said they cannot. This country will never reach there due to the steps that they took. And if we should follow their footsteps, we are the same set of Jamaica with vote out these persons because they're making a change.
I go and tell you something, sir. The government of Jamaica, is coming with a road traffic something that is going to make you lose points. And I'm going to tell the government this. it is very unpopular. It is very unpopular. And if the government ever implement that in an election year, believe me, sir. Remember this. The thing that you see the minister coming with in October, and the minister is saying that there's going to be a zero tolerance against it, and I would caution the government. I would caution the government. Careful. You see Jamaica? You see Jamaica? There are a lot of things, sir, that has to be broken into our people. You have to take your time, break it in. Take your little time, break it in. Yes, we need to drive down the road traffic. We need to drive. I agree with that. I think the road rage is terrible. But you see Jamaicans, sir, and not everything you can introduce to Jamaicans. You have to take your time. When you talk about people are going to lose their license and points are going to take over their license in a Jamaica, sir, road fatalities are too high. But remember the country. Remember the people you're dealing with. And I'm going to spend a little time on that maybe in the coming week to add a little caution to how the government is going about this. Because Jamaicans are easy, you know.
But punishment should supposed to be hard. You can't allow. Remember that if ticket was for $500. Imagine a police stop me and I $500. So that means really business.
But it has been politicized. It has been politicized.
I know by the opposition.
Yes.
So the wrong idea.
Yes, and when you get taximen, when you get the taximen to think and to believe that somehow the government is trying to sabotage them. Anyway.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true. They're going to go to the taximan and say, see, the government are charging $9,000 for a seatbelt ticket. They are wicked. And once they put that in some of these Jamaican mind, the first thing they're going to say, that's true. You understand me?
Yeah, because Jamaicans are not thinking safety, sir. They're not thinking safety. They are thinking sabotage. You want to take away license? Huh? You going to Spanish Town right now, and you will see 1 mile of handcart with people who take over half of the road, a sell on the road. You go in there tomorrow and take them off of the street if you're bad. Take them off.
Yeah, they're not going to say them are break the road. They're going to say the government wicked.
A hustle, sir. You take away bread. You understand me? A hustle, you take away bread. Take them off if you're bad. Let me tell you something, sir. It is very easy to learn a behavior. It is not easy to unlearn it. And we have allowed Jamaica to learn indiscipline. Indiscipline is part of the social fabric of the society. Unlearning it, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult, sir.
Yes, neighbor, because again, if the case, if the government say I'm going to them have a charge me $40,000 if they catch me and overtake. Every time I choose to overtake or drive so fast, I am going to think about that $40,000. You understand me? But that is what they're not learning to say that, listen, when you're punished for wrongdoing, no punishment not supposed to be, something where, yeah, you can't do that because it's not a bottom pocket. It's supposed to be harsh. You understand me? It's supposed to have an effect that when you realize the punishment, you will change. You understand? You will change because again, a lot of the companies that was doing a lot of data fraud and all of those stuff, right? When the government increased the payment to say that we're not going to pay this $2 million again, when you have data breach and all of those stuff, we're not going to pay the $150 million. These companies have to think twice before them even do it.
No, I am not saying that. I am not saying that the punishment is to be friendly. You know, I'm not saying that. Listen to me. I ran an institution. You see, sir. And what I dealt with were children with behavioral challenges. So the children I got, bad. You think so the badness could be spoken out of them? When I get a child that the child don't want to go to school, you think I can put him in a uniform tomorrow and send him to school? A joke you make. Inango. You think him go? You think the badness just come out? You think you can? This is why corporal punishment is a no-no. You can't beat it out. You can't talk it out. How you get it out then? There is a processor and it's called reconditioning. How do you recondition a brain? In a car, where you can just change a parts. It's something that is in the brain. It is already affecting the child's behavior. And the child does not see that what he or she is doing is incorrect. Because it is satisfied with it. And you are now coming to tell me that I'm to go to school when all my life I don't go. And when you give me my money in the day, I just go to the game shop. So you think, say, you will just take me in and tomorrow morning that happen? No. And the government have to understand that, sir. That the society it is governing is a society that sees indiscipline as part of, is a way of life. A way of life. Because that's how we live for years.
Neighbor.
So we coming to you, in the recalibrating of the society, we have to have some further conversations. Okay? We have to have some further conversations. Because I can tell you this, that laws on their own do not change human behavior. Go ahead, Astute.
Neighbor, are you likening adults' brains with children's brains? Because I will say that when these same Jamaicans go to a UK or anywhere in Europe or anywhere else in the world, they are poor place smack dabbed into a different system. So, okay, so first of all, child psychology and human psychology is completely different.
Here's a mistake you just made, though Astute. You have compared two different environments. Canada and the United States, it is called in psychology conformity. So if you don't want to be an odd person, then you are going to conform, not because you believe necessarily in what the others are doing, but because it makes you look stupid.
Yeah.
So if you go to a place where everybody crosses the road at this time, you look on and you see, I saw it happen here, so I have to fall in line. That is not in Jamaica, sir.
Actually, neighbor, it is you are actually making the point that I was about to make.
Okay.
I was gonna say to you that it is because of groupthink. It is not necessary. So I was gonna make the distinction first between a child's brain and a adult human brain. To say a child is able to be, conditioned to a certain aspect past a certain age, because at 25 years old, your prefrontal cortex, on average, is fully developed. In a child, that is not the case. And I'm going to say to you that when you talk about a child versus an adult human being, it is not comparative. However, what we can say is when the environment is changed, people conform. So it is showing you that Jamaica, it is not so much the mentality to say people are incapable of doing what is right. It is what you point out is the social aspect, the social contracts that we hold here. For example, some time ago, in order for people, there was this hustle where you go to the depot, you pay a man a money, and you get your fitness. Whether your car fit for the road or not, you get your fitness done. Now that you're doing it online, those people are losing business. Similarly, if you put in a system, which is the demerit point system, that can also encourage corruption based on the social contracts held in our society. Because you know what might happen? You might meet a police officer on the road and you go 50 over the speed limit and him stop you.
And I said, well, boss, you know, so we have to go take away your... I said, no, officer, man, 100 grand here. You know, so that's a mentality. Because that same officer, if he's in a different jurisdiction, which is a different country, he's not going to dare do it. One, them have body cameras. Two, they're paid well. And then also just the culture of the organization. It's a cultural thing, neighbor. It's not just a mental thing. Because, again, to reiterate my point, how is it that these same adults come from this place, but live in another place where full of Jamaicans, let's say White Plains Road, in the Bronx, and conform to the rules of that society? If their mentality is just so one way, they won't change. It's conformity, neighbor. There's a cultural change that we need, not necessarily a mental change. And that is the point I want to bring across. We are capable of doing it. Because, for example, I'm going to tell you something me see in a real time. Where I am from, you used to have young men who would stay up at nights and claim to them a lock street. But you see, since the Prime Minister invests in the JCF and crime fighting, and since them say crime is not cute anymore, everybody get a job, neighbor. Me hear man, see a man who used to have a depart street at night time and say, yo, I forgot my bed, you know, because we have work later. How is it that they're able to change? How? And then not change the environment. The environment wasn't changed. It's the culture, neighbor. A lot of aspects of our Jamaican culture is garbage. It might be harsh, but it's the harsh truth. A lot of the aspects of our culture is garbage. And then culture is the way of life of a people. Until we change the very culture and the subcultures that evolve from these cultures, no matter what mindset you inculcate, people don't want to seem like the odd man out. Because I say man will come from good family. Don't know nothing about badness. Never go a day hungry in their life. Come take up badness. And they didn't have to. Because what? The man them round them, when they go high school with, they don't want to get called nerds. And then the girls, them don't like they quote unquote nerds when we go to school. And them want girls. So them have to adapt.
Yeah.
Okay. Their mind.
Okay. All right. 26 minutes to 9 o'clock. We have a caller from YouTube. Let's take him. Good evening, caller. Hello. You're muted. Go ahead.
Yes, are you hearing me now?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Good night to all your viewers and listeners. Fantastic conversation again, you know. What I want to contribute to tonight's Jamaica is a Christian country.
Jamaica is a what, sir? Hold on. Jamaica is a no. You know, we need to correct that. You know, Jamaica is a Christian country, sir. We may have a lot of churches here, but I don't know that we're a Christian country. I mean, Christianity is a religion, and there are other religions in Jamaica. Okay. Hello. Are you there, caller?
Yes. Are you hearing me? Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I don't want to be controversial, but I think it's a bit of overstating of that Christian country thing there. I don't see that.
Fair enough.
Your microphone is constantly being muted, though, caller.
It's because it's on my face. I apologize for that, but let's see if we can get it straight now. You're hearing me clearly, right?
Yeah, I am hearing you clearly.
Yeah, we platforms like yours and Info and JPU are doing a fantastic job in plugging the communication gap for the government.
We are hold on. Can you mute DJ Marijuana for me, please? We are doing a WhatsApp.
A fantastic job plugging the communication gap for the government.
Is that so?
Understand that
I didn't realize that.
There's some deficiency when it comes on to communication there. And platforms like yours, I find, is doing a fantastic job in getting out the minutiae of the information on what is happening in the country.
Well, thank you for that, sir. Thank you to my team. Caroline, big up yourself.
Yeah, man. So, because we understand that the government is up against it from all sector of society like no other government has ever been before. And we have to press on and push out the positive messages that have been happening in our country since this government took office in 2016. We're seeing it, we're feeling it, right? When you talk about just, you know, the lowering of the murder rate and, you know, the country becoming more secure. Young people are able to leave school and find a job, whereas it was not as easy as it was now in the past. Right? I give you an example of, I know that the government is up against it, and we just want to encourage our Prime Minister and his cabinet to continue doing good while others are out there being their worst. Because sometimes you're running a race, you have to matter what is coming from the competitors, you know. But you have to focus on your capabilities and keep pushing on, and that's what our government is doing. I saw an article come out in the Jamaica Observer on Friday saying not so good or not nice regarding the government introducing a bus system from Greater Portmore to the mall, which is a well-traveled route, right? A much-needed option for passengers. And the fare compared to the taxi is in half. And the angle that the Observer took was from the point of the taxi drivers losing out and not supporting the government. They didn't interview passengers to get the passengers' viewpoint as to how this new transportation, this new bus route is doing for them. They went to the least common denominator, which is the taxi driver, to get his gross, not the benefits for the majority. So I'm giving that as an example to show you what we are up against. To the point you made to the previous caller about being a bit careful with implementations of certain laws that are meant to change the country for good. I am in agreement with you.
You agree with me that the government must do some research to make sure that it is implementing things that doesn't.
Absolutely, neighbor. And I'm sure because they want, you know, it's again the communication. Because if they would come out with a short video to just highlight the amount of Jamaicans who have died on our road.
Well, that's the public relations, sir. What the government is selling it as is a punishment, and I never wanted to say this because I really hate doing PR. The government is making a mistake by selling it as a punishment. It is not a punishment. That's not what the bill is coming to do. It is the preservation of life. Sell it as a lifesaver. Show the people how many people. You see 7 people died in a motor vehicle accident. Use that as an opportunity.
Yes, I'm listening.
Use that as the opportunity to reinforce why you need to do this. Okay? Yes. Don't sell it as we are going to punish you. No, it's not a punishment.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm hoping that somebody is listening to this platform. And I know they do listen to your platform. I know you command their ears. So somebody will at least hear and take the angle to communicate to the well-thinking Jamaicans, to Jamaicans in general, that this initiative, this bill, this new law, this new procedural policy is there to save your lives and the lives of your family members. Because we cannot, it is not sustainable how we are carrying on in our country with the indiscipline. And as you rightly say, because I grew up in the 80s in a disciplined society.
Uh-huh.
I did. It wasn't perfect, but it is far from what it has become over the past 30 years. When I look at how I used to travel around Kingston City, and Kingston was so clean, to what it is now, it was not always this way. How did we get to this point?
Yeah, sir.
But we know how we got to this point.
We know how we got to this point, sir.
Mismanagement.
You know, sir.
Corruption.
Cecil Charlton was the mayor of Mandeville. So, I don't know if you know Cecil Charlton.
I do know Cecil Charlton. Of
Yeah.
course, I know.
And
I know him. I know members of the family.
Yes, when Cecil Charlton was mayor of Mandeville, Mandeville was the cleanest parish capital in Jamaica, you know, sir.
Look at Mandeville.
Look at Mandeville now. And you know, sir, when I used to travel through Mandeville as a boy, and you had a box drinks box in your hand, you dare never drop it. You dare never drop it out of your hand. Because, sir, you were in an environment that was clean. I used to go sit down in the Mandeville bus park, look girls, you know, sit down in the park, look girls by two party, and look girls. The girls would come over and the girls would come over to the park, sir, and you could go into the park, sit down, read a book. Look at Mandeville now. I think the park is taken over by people of minds that are, you know.
Look here, Mandela Park in Harvard Street. When last were you there? When last have you been to Mandela Park? It's like you can't even consider it a park anymore. St. William's Grand Park. When last have you been there?
I've been there in a while, sir.
They are no, you can categorize them. Look,
Yeah.
look.
Hold on there. My friend on TikTok is talking about Grove. Yes, sir. I used to go over Grove Court too. Buy one irritated water. You know irritated water? You know irritated water, sir? Huh?
I don't.
He's so young, he doesn't know irritated water. You know Shandy. You know Shandy?
I do know Shandy.
You know the
Shandy.
Yes,
I know Shandy.
buy one bottle of Shandy and go sit down. Clean, sir. Clean place.
Look, all I have to say, man, let's just continue to pray for our Prime Minister and his government to continue day by day, one step before the next one, to put our country. And by the grace of Almighty God, we will get there. And to get there, Jamaicans have to be critical and less tribal. This government, in order for us to get there, have to remain for at least another 10 consecutive terms.
Terms, sir? Terms or years?
Terms.
10, 5, no 50, sir. 50 year Labor Party. 50 years, sir.
Because as you say, the 2 steps forward and 2 steps backward have not done the country any good.
You don't think that we can agree on some pathways? Let's call them pillars. For example, in education, in health, in national security, in the economy. For example, like the fiscal rules. We now have an independent central bank. You don't think that there are pillars, constitutional arrangements that we can put in place that no government can reverse? And in that regard, we can be a little bit more comfortable with the democratic process?
I am not so confident in that approach. And the main reason is the ideology, the philosophy of the People's National Party.
But then, sir, they say they have a new breed. You don't think the new breed is different?
No, because you see, they have a DNA. It is embedded in. And I'll give you an example. You talk about the fiscal rules that should be adhered to so that we can maintain a certain order of our books, right? But yet we saw during a once in 100 years pandemic when the economies of the world were reeling, we had the leader of the PNP saying to the government, break from down your debt and put out $40 billion in the economy. Where would that have put us? Again, it is the thinking to come forward now to Melissa. What was their suggestion? Let us give each MP $50 million. So you see the thinking? So it's irresponsible and it's reckless. So with all due respect to your suggestion, the people of Jamaica will have to keep this government.
How are you saying to me? You don't think Mr. Crawford would think differently? That sounds like a golden idea, you know, that $50 million. You think Mr. Crawford?
No, but it is the thinking of the People's National Party. If you look at their antecedents, well, from the first time they came into power in the 1970s, let's just see their mindset. Look at the other day. Some people give people some notice to come off of the land because they need the land now. The argument that you see happening in the comment section is where the people have to go now. As if there's no option for them to go and work and pay rent like everybody else. What is so special about them? That is what my mother and my grandfather had to do to get me in a better position, work and pay rent. But that idea is foreign to a lot of Jamaicans.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, sir, and I have to go shortly. Do you get the sense in traveling across Jamaica that the government is still enjoying the support of the majority of Jamaicans? Do you get that sense?
Yes, but it has to be contextualized, right? Oh. It has to be contextualized. You see, people now under the age of 25, the government have their support, right? Because
but they are not reliable voters. They are not reliable voters.
Well, that may be true, but I'm just saying, look, I'm just focusing on that demographic. But the higher, the others above that, they still have support among that. What I'm saying is that when you hear the young people who can think for themselves, the government have those. Remember, most of PNP support, it is by way of heritage. My mother was, my father was, which family come from is.
Yeah, generational. Both parties.
For both parties, but what I'm finding is that those who are supporting the Labour Party are those who have thought objectively and critically and say they are the better option. When they check the history, when they see what is happening right now in front of their eyes in terms of the development happening in the country.
Okay.
Experiencing it too.
Yeah. Can you end with the toll issue, sir? What do you think of the toll debate that is now raging in Jamaica? Who do you think is responsible for tolling us?
Labour, I am just so sorry your platform is not reaching a wider audience because it is one of the most intellectual platforms we have now as it relates to giving.
What are you saying to me? This platform, sir?
Yeah, man. I'm not trying to swell your head, but it's just the fact.
Check.
Because you spelled it out perfectly. It's not a matter of who signed it. It is why was Jamaica put in a position to sign the contract.
That's right.
Say
it again for me, sir, because when I say it, they may not hear, but say it again, because that's the real story, don't you?
The real story is not who put ink to paper.
Thank you.
What were the circumstances that made such an agreement possible? And you hit the nail right on the head. 18 and a half years of mismanaging the economy.
Thank you.
Remember, the economy is the engine of any country.
But why on God's earth, my brother, before you continue, have the Labour Party not hammered this point home? Why have they not nailed it?
We have to, I don't know. So we just have to keep doing what we do, and then hopefully we pray that they'll catch on and start to hammering it. It is the economy, stupid.
Yes.
That's what the American
James Carville.
Exactly.
Carville.
It is the economy, stupid. When your economy fails, where are you going to get money to even do your social programs?
Thank you.
Much less to pay public sector.
And build roads. When we can't even find money to patch the old road, how we gonna build new roads? Sir?
You know, so when you look at it, who are proven to be better managers of the economy? The record is clear. The Jamaica Labour Party. And you see, before you go, I know you have to go. History is important. Enough people say that was a long time ago and it doesn't really matter. It does, and I'll give you an example. The conflicts happening now, the main conflicts happening now in the Middle East, in Ukraine, is because of actions taken decades ago. The consequences are still reverberating today because of actions taken decades ago.
Right, so
I've said that to say this. The economy, the society that we have now, really and truly, I'm talking about post-independence, I'm not talking about colonial rule and all that, but let's talk about Jamaican independence, since we've been taking care of our own affairs. The issues of our economic woes began in the 70s. And it has reverberated, and we are still facing the consequences of that. Thank God we have a responsible, caring leader and a government doing their best while others are being their worst to take us to the place where we can become prosperous and sustainable.
why? Nice talking to you. Why you stay away so long?
Well, the issue I've been trying to call, but the issue with the channel and
I tell you what, you should be able to get talk to my producer. She does have your number, don't it?
I will.
Yeah. Yes, man. Just call her when you want to get on. Just call her and let her set it up, because that's what you did tonight, and you came right through.
Yes. One last thing before I go.
Yes, sir.
Regarding a situation that you spoke so passionately about the other night regarding your platform, I don't want you to worry yourself, because what is for you, nobody can take, right? And you can start over, and you have started over.
Yes, I have.
And see, I am here, I have subscribed, I like every video, and I listen to you 90% of the times.
Oh, lovely.
So,
well, sir, when we are going to relaunch, and we are asking our listeners to support us. We will relaunch in another less than 2 weeks. The YouTube channel. What we are doing right now is building the channel so that we can set it up. It's not set up properly yet. We are just asking the listeners again, please. We can't relaunch unless we have the subscribers. And we need 4,000 watch hours. By the way, sir, I don't want to sound boastful, but I heard a critic saying it's going to take me 3 years to get 1,000 subscribers. That's what I heard a critic saying, that it's going to take me 3 years to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Well, I'd like to say to my critic that I have done 800 in less than a week. And I have close to 4,000 watch hours in less than a week. Okay, so I'm not.
You have the support of good people.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be boastful, but that's what I heard, that it's gonna take me 3 years to do that. And I want to say to my listeners, bravo, you have been excellent. I was very broken and sad when the channel came down. And
I saw it. I heard it coming through. I heard it. I saw it.
And still am.
I watched the entire delivery. I saw it.
Yeah, and I still
right.
I still am. And I want to publicly thank Caroline for standing with me and for encouraging me and supporting me and motivating me to continue, because I have thought of quitting, you know, sir. I must tell you the truth. I thought of quitting. I said, you know what, I just don't bother with this, because I can do other things, you know, sir. I can do other things. But Caroline, thank you so much. You hear? I really appreciate you. And the team, Harry and Scratchy, you know, who have stood by my side. You know, I said some things to her. There's a text in the Bible. You see? There's a text in the Bible where Israel is fighting, and the Bible says Moses' hands were held up. And it says that when Moses' hands fell down, Israel was losing. So two of Moses' generals said, you know, sister, when the man hand dropped down, Israel lose. But so they're going to hold up his hand. You understand me? And that is what my team has done, sir. Sometimes you need somebody to hold up your hand.
Well, we listeners, we're that third branch holding up your hand.
Yeah. And all I ask them to do is subscribe to the channel before you go tonight. Subscribe. It will be nice.
I've done it already. That's what I'm telling you. I've done it already.
Oh, lovely.
If I could subscribe 100 times, I would, but you can't subscribe one time.
Oh, yes. That's great. That's great. Right. By the way, I should tell you, sir, that today I got a proposal to do outside broadcasts. So look out for your neighbor coming into your neck of the woods, right across Jamaica.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
yeah. But hold on. We're going to need a mobile unit, broadcasting mobile unit. So I'll tell the listeners about that and how you can help us to do road. Hello neighbor, do road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going into the neck and crannies of Jamaica with the program. So big program.
Well, as I tell you, neighbor, you have a loyal fan base because of what you say. Your information is well researched. We don't see you coming here with no kias and no propaganda. And we appreciate that, because even when I see some laborites talking like the young man today getting personal, you sort of push back, and I appreciate that.
Yes, and I don't make any apology. I don't make any apology for that at all, sir, because you see, civility must be part of how we conduct ourselves, you know, sir. Because we are one Jamaicans, you know. I mean, I people call me comrades, and there's nothing about me that is comrade. Nothing about me that is comrade. I wear purple. but you know, civility must be a part of how we transact, so how we relate, because we're all Jamaicans at the end of the day. And when the elections are over, you know something, sir, I can tell you this, and this is true. Mark Golding and Andrew Holness are not enemies, you know. They're not. They may be fierce political rivals, but I'm sure they are civil. They are civil. They are civil when they meet each other. We have to be uncivil, sir.
No, we don't. We actually don't, you know. As I say, look, I continue to support by watching and following your channel, and I share and I do what I can as a loyal viewer, listener of the channel. You know, I tune in almost every evening, right, to hear your perspective and your views, your angle on the whole argument, and it's one of the most sage that we have out there. So that's why I want to encourage you, because yes, if you're supporting the PNP, back for them, but do so in truth, right? Because we all can't support the same party, you know. And what you are doing is being truthful to Jamaica while supporting your party.
You know, this job here, so is very difficult. You know, I want my listeners to know that I could do so much more with more resources, because we don't have a lot of resources enough. Again, I have to say, Caroline. Oh, Caroline. We don't we cannot come here on air, sir, with the type of work we do. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm sure that Harry is doing some research. We are properly prepared to come on the program. And I don't come here at 7 o'clock and turn on the live, so sometimes I'm here for 3 hours before.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
because
Okay.
what I am going to say, I need to listen to the news, read the newspapers, read the opinion pieces, listen to the PNP's people, listen to the Labour Party people, and then put it into perspective to come here and say to my listeners, hey, because I respect them. I respect the people who listen to me. And I know that they expect a certain standard. Right? Not to mention the moderator who gives me a failing grade every night. Do you know that, sir? That she grades the program every night?
Well, that is how you're going to improve.
And I've never gotten a passing grade. Never. No matter how good. Sometimes I come out here and I leave everything on the platform only to be told that's a 40%.
No. Well, no. Congratulations, and just continue to do what you're doing. Continue to educate. Continue to put the information out there, because if you reach one, you would have been successful.
Thank you, sir.
If you were able to just have one person think critically and make his decision based upon what you're saying, you would have won.
That's my
just one person.
That's my aim, sir. Thank you. And I thank my lecturer, Dr. Lee, Dr. Bergeron.
Okay.
You have helped me to be a thinker. Thank you, sir. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Bye. All right. Let's go to our Michael Lane. Are you there? Before I go into Harry and ask you to give us their summary. Hello, Michael. Michael, are you there? More than 300 people are watching us on YouTube. 300 of you, have you subscribed to the channel? 300 of you who are watching us on YouTube, have you subscribed to the channel? Press subscribe and subscribe to the channel. And we thank you. 300 and odd. Thank you so much. Harry?
Yes, thank you.
All right, Harry. So the day started out with Spain winning. And then we get into we didn't even get into reviewing anything much tonight. But you have the floor now, Harry. You could just go ahead and say what is on your mind as we head towards the close.
Well, I think I laid it out early in the day.
Yes.
Because and I know it's a rare thing, especially for me. But sometimes I can't put up with the foolishness for too long, neighbor. Right? Especially when we all know what the facts are and we know the truth, and to see somebody, tiptoeing around straightforward questions, thinking that they're going to be caught in a trap. When it's just a straightforward questions, it is what it is. But the people are here to get an understanding as to what has transpired regarding several issues which a country is facing now. And all we ask, and for me when having a conversation, is if you have the facts, you speak it. Because it's a conversation, not a debate. But try your best not to come and mislead anybody intentionally. Because I will not stand for it. It has never been something I stick around to listen to. I normally just put it down where it stands, and I had to do that tonight, So some people may think it may have come off personal. There's nothing personal about it. It is just protecting the integrity of the program, because we are listened to globally, neighbor.
Yeah.
I remember the other day, a few months ago, somebody said we were live in Switzerland.
Yes.
And I want to ensure that whatever content is put out from this platform, it is true, it is factual, it stands on its own, doesn't need anybody to defend it, because the truth doesn't need someone to defend it when it's so blatantly clear. And that is the main thing for me. One of the things that always puzzles me as well, neighbor, as we look at the whole toll issue, we had FinTech in the 90s, How did Jamaica allow the then government to run into a toll to 2001? We didn't have a financial sector. It was in shambles. Why and where were the civil society? Where were the additional groups? Right? Where were the actual Jamaicans, the adults of that time that made decisions on our behalf, neighbor? How did they let that happen? And just come to bite us a generation after. And now we don't want to take accountability for it. But it is there for all of us to see. It is something that has held us back and will continue to hold us back until we find better ways and terms to deal with it. And while it's the responsibility of the now government to try and I don't want to say right the wrongs, but to at least ease the burdens for the people, it would be us doing injustice and being unfair to lay it all at their feet to say they need to fix it when they didn't do the problem.
That's quite true. You know, one of the things that is important when I hear people like you, like Astute, like Scratchy, young people that are standing up for your country, for Jamaica, because this is what was lacking in the 90s. You know, there was just too many people that were complicit with what was happening. Maybe because they were benefiting. But you guys see the benefit on a broader basis, and you are standing up to preserve your country. Isn't this part of why you do this, Harry, night after night, and get involved?
It is, neighbor. It is, and I mean, what a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that people don't see when we're doing the research and so on in the neighbor. And the balance we have to strike, because the truth about it is that research is done heavily into whatever we put forward. That is how much we have the national pride, and we want to inform those who may not be able to make the same sacrifices to do the research.
Yes.
So we'll do that and give you the information
on the listeners' behalf. Yes.
Exactly, and hoping and praying that we can have conversations even after we close off the line.
And maybe it is just good for I think it is clear for everyone to see that we support the government led by the Jamaica Labour Party. This program supports that. We don't hide that. But they can't say that we are lying. But we are not lying for the government.
We can't support an opposition that has not given us anything to support. There's no one project they put forward. There's no one alternative that made sense, you know.
Right. But I want to make the point, Harry, that what we do, we are not propagandists. We don't spread disinformation. Whatever we say here can be backed up by you can fact check us if you want. Although we are supporters of the government. But we are speaking the truth. Unlike others who are coming with lies.
And I think that is something in society we want to ensure stays that way, neighbor. Because it's not like we come up here and say take us for gospel. Even earlier tonight, I read directly from the Observer. We gave the date as well, helping you to fact check me, because I want to be held accountable just the same as together we hold the government accountable right through, because we are the ones who will be left with whatever decisions are made. And currently the decisions being made are in our best interest, not just for now, but going forward.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You put it best when we said, listen, we're no longer on the menu, we're at the table. And for once and for all, that is something we should be proud of, and we should be
and preserve and seek to preserve.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't allow yourself to be thrown back on the table, sir. It's a demotion.
It is. Exactly. And it doesn't matter what the gains will be. For me, I don't want to benefit from something and then the rest of Jamaica suffer. Because at the end of the day, my gate I go lick down, and my house I go burn up, something is going to fall at my feet. And we can't run a country like that. We need each and every person to be a part of the process, to find themselves so they can benefit. Because we don't want a Jamaica where we depend on anybody to give us bread. And currently the decisions being made is for the betterment of an entire nation and generations to come. This administration has not taken any decision for just the now, nothing they've done. And people need to see that, recognize it, acknowledge it, and ensure that they protect it. I said it months ago. There's a legacy being built, and we have to protect it with everything we have, and I stand by that to today's day.
Yeah, and not only that, Harry, when you look at the way the government has performed, and here is where I personally take sides, because I am old enough. I was born in the 70s, and I lived through the 70s, 80s, 90s, now 2000. Okay, I am old enough, and I have seen Jamaica transition, and I can tell everyone listening to me now, today, on this 19th day of July, in the year of our Lord 2026, it is the best I have seen Jamaica. It is the best I have seen Jamaica. I have never seen this country in the position it is in today, with opportunities for young people, with a forecast that is immeasurable. Right now, I can tell anybody listening to me that the prospect for Jamaica is gaining international recognition. There are very few countries in the world with investment opportunities like Jamaica. There are very few countries in the world that you could literally wake up tomorrow morning and go out on the street and get a work. A handcat man tell me downtown Friday, right? He say work $3,500 in 2 hours, and he might leave him and cat go on one side to work another $5,000 for the day, right? He might do 2 work. He might push on cat. One of the handcat man said to me, by the way, when I went down there, they said, "Boy, neighbor, we listen to you every night." The handcat man tell me, say, "In some man, in a room cool." I said, "What you mean your room cool? And the time so hot?" Yeah, I said, "Man, you have AC in my room, man." He said, "What?" He said, "How we attack, man? How we attack, neighbor? I run handcat, me push, and me have AC in my room." That's what I'm saying. This is
and these are the progress that people don't want to be put out, neighbor. They want to hold the doom and gloom perspective of everything and magnify that.
Yeah.
That is the major issue of it. You know? We know things are progressing. Everybody has seen progress, one way or the other. But when you go ahead and nitpick and highlight a one thing, which in every and any country we can always highlight something, you know.
Yeah,
right?
and let me tell you something, Scratch, so, Harry. Inflation is not something that Jamaica need to be afraid of, you know. What we need to do, guys, is to become more productive, grow the economy, increase wages and salaries. Okay? Because part of our problem is that it's a low wage economy. That's why prices seem so ridiculously high. Price not high in Jamaica, you know, compared to some countries in the world, you know. But that's for another debate. It's for another discussion. But I am telling you, we are better than we were in the 70s. Far better. We are better than we were in the 80s. Way better. And we are definitely better than we were in the 90s. All the prophets of doom, they are agents of the devil. It's not true that Jamaica is not progress. It is not true. It is not. Are we perfect? No, we're not. Is there further we can go? Yes. Can we do more for our people? Yes, we will. But Jamaica today is a boom. Is a boom. Go ahead, sir.
Just before Harry comes in, neighbor, I would just like to speak to our listeners to let them know that we are here Mondays to Thursday at 7 p.m. Jamaican time, and we have a slight change in our timing on Friday, which is temporary, right, neighbor?
Correct.
Right. So for now, we are at, is it 8:30 p.m. on a Friday? 8:30 on a Friday night, and we're not always here on a Saturday, but we're definitely here on a Sunday at 6 p.m. Jamaican time. Please remember to subscribe, like, and we'll see you tomorrow evening at 7 p.m.
Fantastic. Coming to you, astute, big up youth. So we want to say to our people on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to the channel, and make sure before you leave tonight that you subscribe. More than 300 people over YouTube listening to us right now. Excellent. Run Stanley. Fire, we are at the boom.
Celebrate, wave your hand and kick your foot straight. Let's show the world we are number one. 38 years we don't live along when it comes to it. Number one, our drinking water. Number one, our food and culture. Number one, our tourist resorts. Number one, oh, the island of boom.
Fire, the island of boom. Astute, come in.
Yes, neighbor. Thank you again. On my mind, neighbor, is the fact I have had the unfortunate privilege of living in a tundra, in a very cold place.
You lived in a what?
Tundra, neighbor. Tundra,
you mean a van? You lived in a van?
No, man. A tundra is a very frigid place.
Oh! I thought, you have the Toyota Tundra.
Yeah, man. It is named after the actual geographical place called the tundra.
Oh,
I've had the unfortunate privilege of living in a tundra.
An unfortunate privilege is an oxymoron.
Yes, it's a privilege because it represents what should be considered a developed nation, a nation where you see how when the right systems are put in place, how they benefit everybody overall. Now, you do have the systemic prejudices that exist within places like those. However, everybody still has opportunity to work, earn, and build a life suitable for what they like. Education is high. The quality of education, not comparable to Jamaica, but in terms of its value worldwide, is better compared to Jamaica. But in terms of the quality, in terms of what you actually learn in class, definitely not better than Jamaica. But the point I want to make, neighbor, growing up in Jamaica, I remember the days when I don't feel as free as how I feel right now. Right now, when I come in, I don't feel worried and afraid to one day for tonight and my last night. I feel a sense of safety. Now, I am not saying there is zero crime and the likelihood of stuff like that happening to me is at zero. But in terms of the probability, it has significantly dropped, where I feel safer now than any other time in my existence, living in Jamaica. And maybe one of the main reasons why I joined your platform last year, March, was because you represented a different voice. It reminded me of when I used to listen to Monty Perkins and KLAS. Monty Perkins used to speak on the atrocities of the then People's National Party, PJ specifically. And every year that the government came to Parliament and did a budget debate, everybody had sink. It is shown that in the very governance of our country changed our very culture. People got this, the brown paper bag. Anybody who lived through in the 90s and 80s, if you tell them about the brown paper bag party, they know exactly what you're talking about. And that created a different mindset in our people. So much so that at one point, if you didn't support the brown paper bag party, you did not have access to anything at all. Because when they came around to give out social assistance, they might say, oh yeah man, I want brown paper bag party support of this. in my house. Oh yeah, a brown paper bag supporter this. We'll give a scholarship for that university. And if they even thought that you had an opposing support to an opposing party, you didn't get any benefits compared to now. The social housing program, if this were around during the brown paper bag party's time, if you were not supporters of the brown paper bag party, you would never get a house. And I challenge anybody, you would never get a house. Places that were predominantly JLP governed constituencies, those constituencies lacked the very basic resources that they needed, because that government, the Brown Paper Party government, Brown Paper Party government, as a matter of fact, I don't even think they should be called a political party, because they don't espouse the values of a political party. They're more a cult, because these people are more bent on supporting party over country. Damien Crawford even said a recording of him is out there. I have it on my page. Where I said to you, say, a party over country. Now, how can you, as a political representative who are supposed to be a part of a democratic society, that is a different story, say party over country, where people who are in the country and the very constitution that dictates the Queens at the time, the Queen's opposition, say you're supposed to function in a particular way? How can you be party over country? And neighbor, it is for that very reason I shudder to even think that these people will get their hands back on the reins of power, because I am sure history has shown it to us, and that is the importance of studying history. Because if you fail to study history, you will go back and make the same mistakes of the past. These are the same people every single time them get them hands on the reins of power. Mayhem. The economy cannot grow. The economy goes backward. You talk about 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. It is that very party that always brings us back into the dark ages.
Yeah. Okay.
You talk about. Okay, neighbor. I'll just say. You, in closing, you speak about the toll road, but the toll road is just one microcosm of the many ills of our country that we have faced as a result of the poor governance and poor policies of the 90s that led us to a whole new Jamaica. That in a time when countries worldwide were flourishing, Jamaica experienced a domestic financial crisis, and now when countries worldwide are grappling to stay afloat, Jamaica is being applauded for how well we're being governed. Neighbor, we cannot afford. And I heard you said earlier that you were thinking of quitting. No, neighbor, Father God put you here for a time such as this. You're doing God's work. You're doing God's work, neighbor. Because of you and people like who decide to come on the program and give of their time and their resources, whether financial or intellectual wise, it is because of people like us where we're going to be able to educate an entire generation who never know nothing. And in so doing, this is going to have a multiplying effect, because good governance matters. Who run your country, who is running the business matter, who is running the shop matter. And it is important that you see it as such, because this is not only for you, and if you have children or grandchildren, this will directly affect their lives, because soon to come, when we go to 40 murders a year, it is going to be because of the actions taken today. When we have NIR $20 billion, when we have the GDP growing so much where our GDP per capita is 80 or 100,000 US dollar, it is going to be because of conversations we had here today, and it is because of our efforts today that is going to shape the brand new future that I know can happen. Neighbor, culture, is the way of life of our people. Culture can change over time. We have some new youngsters that come up, we have some kids that come up, we have access to the internet, as opposed to when you and I were growing up where we only depended on the newspaper or the encyclopedia, or we had to go to the library. Children now have information at their fingertips.
Yes, sir.
And as such, we have to speak truth, give life to truth, And when we speak it, people can fact check us and also what we are saying is true. And as the man said, we need about 50 more years because the generations to come, they're not going to need it. So neighbor, continue to do the good work. Don't, even if you feel like, you get a little weary, reach out. Prayer work.
Yeah, true.
Prayer work.
True.
So blessings.
All right, respect you here, sir.
Come on, always.
All right, great. All right, listeners, YouTube, I pray that in another 7 days by next week, Sunday, when I'm signing off, I can say big up TikTok and Patreon and X and everybody. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. Sunday review. Well, we didn't do a lot of review tonight because the producer added Mr. Ingram and the program went out of whack. YouTube, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for joining us. Before you go, subscribe to the channel and we'll join you again tomorrow at 7 o'clock when we'll do this all over again. Until then, have a fantastic, productive Monday, and may God richly bless you and all that concerns you. Go forward in faith, holding on to the everlasting arms of God. Who God bless, no man curse. Bye-bye.